Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing good. So I am here with the 7th video of the video series on Natural Resources Class 9 Science. I am Roshni from Learner Hub, the free learning platform where you can learn physics, chemistry, maths, biology absolutely for free. So in this video, we are going to discuss about carbon cycle, greenhouse effect and global warming. And trust me, these topics are not just important for your curriculum and your syllabus, but it is also important because they tell a lot about the environment around us. So stay focused, be with me and let's get started. The next cycle that we are going to discuss is the carbon cycle. So what is carbon cycle? Now on similar lines as water cycle and nitrogen cycle, this is a cycle by which carbon is cycled repeatedly through different forms by various biological and physical activities. So how is carbon getting balanced in the atmosphere, on the earth, that is in the entire ecosystem? How do we balance carbon? How is carbon getting exchanged between the various biotic and abiotic components? Now, even before that, let us first understand where is carbon present. So carbon also occurs as an element in things like graphite and diamond in the form of its own form, like just as the element carbon. At the same time, it also occurs in the combined state, wherein carbon combines with some other element to form, for example, carbon dioxide. So carbon combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, or carbon forms carbonates or hydrogen carbonates, which makes the skeleton of a lot of living organisms. So these are some of the common forms of carbon in which it is present on the earth. Now, when we talk about atmosphere, carbon is present in the form of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and we have seen that carbon dioxide is not present in very huge amount. Approximately 0.03% of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide. Carbon is also an important constituent of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, nucleic acids and vitamins, because all of these also contain nitrogen, but that is all organic nitrogen because they also contain carbon. So carbon is an important constituent of all of these. Now let's look at the carbon cycle. So in carbon cycle, we will basically talk about two things: the processes which add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere and the processes which take away carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So these two types of processes together balance the same amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So let us first talk about the processes by which carbon is added to the atmosphere. How is carbon added to the atmosphere? So what are those processes which release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere? So one process that you can think of is respiration. So what happens during the process of respiration? We take in oxygen. So if you see, what is respiration? It is the process in which food energy is released from the food. So basically food is oxidized to release energy. So during respiration, food which is in the form of glucose is oxidized. That means oxygen is taken in during breathing. And the result is carbon dioxide plus water plus a lot of energy. So this is how we get energy from food. But as a result of this process, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. So respiration is one such process by which carbon dioxide gets added to the atmosphere. Now, what are the processes by which carbon dioxide is taken from the atmosphere? So one such process is photosynthesis by plants. And that is a very crucial process because plants are the only living organisms which can prepare their own food by photosynthesis. And every other organism, they directly or indirectly depend on plants. So that way, photosynthesis is the basic process of food preparation for all living organisms. Now, what happens in photosynthesis? The plants take in carbon dioxide and water and they combine together to form food in the form of glucose, and as a result of this process, oxygen is released and a lot of energy is also produced. So therefore, in this case, what is happening? carbon dioxide is taken up from the atmosphere. So basically respiration and photosynthesis, these are two reverse processes. In respiration, carbon dioxide is given to the atmosphere. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken up from the atmosphere. Now there are few other processes also. For example, combustion is one such process when we burn objects. So objects when burnt, they need oxygen because oxygen is needed for burning. And as a result of this process, carbon dioxide is again released to the atmosphere. So combustion is another process in which carbon dioxide is released or carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere. Now let us look at this picture of carbon cycle, because now we will be able to understand this picture better. So here you see, this is the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere. This carbon dioxide is utilized by the plants during photosynthesis. Now some part of this carbon dioxide also combines with water to form carbonates, with water to form limestones. Okay, now the carbon dioxide which is utilized by the plants, that's fine, but these plants will also undergo respiration. So as a result of respiration, what will happen? Carbon dioxide will be released back to the atmosphere. So when plants undergo respiration, carbon dioxide is released back to the atmosphere. What about animals? Animals also utilize carbon dioxide. How? Because plants utilize carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and animals feed on those plants either directly or indirectly. But these animals again, they undergo respiration, and that is how they add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Respiration and also another process, that is decomposition. So when these animals die, so they are decomposed by the decomposers like fungi and bacteria. So as a result of decomposition also carbon dioxide is released, and that is how it is given back to the atmosphere. Besides this, carbon dioxide is also taken out, also exists in the form of coal. It is also there in the form of petroleum or the shells, that is the inorganic carbonates. So these are also some other variety of forms in which carbon dioxide exists. So basically we see that there are these four processes, like photosynthesis is one major process which take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Respiration, combustion and decomposition are the three processes which give back carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. So now that we are talking about the carbon cycle, it becomes very important to talk about this important effect called the greenhouse effect. Now, how is this greenhouse effect related to carbon or carbon dioxide for that matter? So we will understand that very gradually. First, let's try to see what is this effect. Greenhouse. It is not a greenhouse where by looking at the name you might think that this is a house which is green in color. So it is definitely not a greenhouse, but it is an effect that maintains the temperature within the earth. So some time back I was telling you that the atmosphere acts as a blanket and therefore it helps the earth to maintain its right temperature. So continuing from there, I'll tell you that how exactly the temperature inside the earth is maintained. So of course atmosphere plays a very important role. How? Because it helps to maintain a balance between the incoming radiation and the outgoing radiation from the earth, because the radiation coming from the sun to the earth. So all the radiation that is coming inside the earth and the radiation which is going out of the earth. So a balance is strike between both of these, and that is where greenhouse effect comes into picture. So greenhouse effect is the name given to the phenomenon in which the earth's surface is warmed up due to incoming radiation through the atmosphere. So basically it is that phenomenon where the temperature inside the earth is getting increased. So we keep the temperature inside the earth warm enough. Now what exactly happens? So you see here, this is the sun and this is the earth. So let us draw it here, maybe that would be better. So let's say this is the sun and somewhere here you have the earth. So the sun is far away, so I have drawn it small. So this would be the incoming radiation from the sun. So this incoming radiation so source of radiation is the sun, and about 70% of the incoming solar radiation is absorbed by the land, ocean and atmosphere on the earth. Now what happens when the solar radiation is absorbed by all of these? They heat up, right? So the land absorbs the solar radiation and it heats up. The water bodies absorb the solar radiation, they get heated up. So when they heat up, they release heat in the form of infrared radiation, which passes out through the atmosphere into space. So like this would be the infrared radiation, which might want to pass out through the atmosphere back into the space. So basically what is entering is incoming radiation and what's going out is the outgoing radiation. So incoming radiation is the solar radiation, outgoing radiation is the infrared radiation, which is emitted by hot objects. So all the objects inside the earth became hot because of the solar radiation, and since they became hot, they gave out infrared radiation. So that should be the normal scenario. Now what is happening is, now there are certain gases which we call as the greenhouse gases. So these greenhouse gases are present somewhere here at the atmosphere, and the greenhouse gases, they tend to absorb and re-emit the infrared radiation. That means the greenhouse gases are somewhere here, and these greenhouse gases do not allow all the outgoing radiation to actually go out. They absorb quite a few of the infrared radiation and re-emit them back within the earth. So what is happening due to the presence of these greenhouse gases? So due to the presence of these gases, the net incoming is a lot more than the net outgoing, because here from this side also incoming radiation is coming inside the earth, and here also some part of the outgoing infrared radiation is coming back into the earth. So the net incoming is more than the net outgoing. So therefore what will happen? So more radiation is coming inside the earth. So that means the temperature inside the earth is more. So basically the earth's surface is warmed up. So why this warming happened? This warming happened because of the greenhouse gases, and this effect is known as greenhouse effect, by which the earth's surface is warmed up. Now do you think that warming up the earth's surface is not a good thing? No, not really. That's because that's needed, because that is the appropriate temperature in which the living organisms can comfortably live. So that is why purposefully we are trying to increase the temperature of the earth's surface. So that is greenhouse effect. So let us try to understand the concept of greenhouse effect with the help of this analogy. So we will take the example of a piggy bank. So here this is you, and this is the piggy bank where you save your money, right? So this is our first scenario where we say that you have a piggy bank like this, where you just keep depositing the money. So whenever you have some extra money, you put it into the piggy bank. So this piggy bank is such that you are able to enter money inside it, but you are not able to take the money out whenever you want, because you see it doesn't have any system from where you can take out the money. So you can take out the money only at once when you break the piggy bank, right? So this is our first scenario. There is a second scenario where you do not have a piggy bank, you just have a box like this where you put your money. So this time you can put your money whenever you want, and you can also take out the money whenever you want. So these are two different scenarios. Now let us try to relate it to what we have seen just now. So let us say that you are nothing but the sun. So you represent sun and the piggy bank represent the earth. So in the first scenario, what is happening? The radiations from the sun, which is nothing but the money, so that is entering into the earth, but there is no way that the radiations can come out. So in that case, what will happen? All the solar radiations will remain inside the earth. So much of solar radiation inside the earth will make it very, very hot. So in this case, what will happen? The earth will become too hot because too much of radiation, too much of incoming radiation, and there is no outgoing radiation. So too much of heat inside the earth. So the temperature will increase too much. Now in this scenario, what will happen? Now solar radiation will enter, so there would be incoming radiation, but at the same time there would be outgoing radiation also. So in this case, if you are putting money inside the box, at the same rate almost you are also taking out your money from the box. So as a result, there is no money inside the box. So in this case, what is going to happen? In this case, whatever solar radiation enters the earth, the same amount of radiation goes out of the earth. So as a result, in this case, the temperature becomes quite cold. So if you look at the entire overall temperature of the earth, so the temperature is quite cold in this case. Now let us look at an intermediate case. So in the intermediate case, you have a piggy bank, but this time you have a lock and key feature in the piggy bank. That means with a key you can open the lock, and that's how you can open the piggy bank only when there is an urgent need. So in this case, what happens? You are able to save your money, but at the same time during emergency you are able to take out some money. So this is what the scenario of atmosphere is. So the lock and key is like the atmosphere. So this time you have an atmosphere which kind of regulates the right temperature inside the earth. So there is some incoming radiation, but this time there is some outgoing radiation, but that doesn't mean that all the incoming radiation is equal to the outgoing radiation. In this case, the outgoing radiation is lesser than that of the incoming radiation. So as a result, what will happen? The temperature inside the earth will keep it warm, not hot but warm. Now why is this happening? This is happening due to the presence of the atmosphere. Now to talk more precisely, what in the atmosphere is causing this to happen? The greenhouse gases. So the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere causes this greenhouse effect. So this entire phenomenon where certain gases in the atmosphere, they tend to reabsorb and re-emit the infrared radiation. Because of that only we see this greenhouse effect. So we will now talk about what are these greenhouse gases exactly. So let us try understanding the greenhouse effect. So greenhouse effect is a natural phenomenon. It happens on its own. It is responsible for heating the earth as well as the atmosphere. So what happens is something like this. The solar radiation reaches the outer atmosphere. Some part of the solar radiation gets reflected by the gases and the clouds in the outer atmosphere itself. Some part gets absorbed by the gases and the clouds. More than 50% of the solar radiation reaches the Earth's surface. Now, this solar radiation which reaches the Earth's surface, they reach the land, ocean, etc., heat them up. Now, when they get heated up, they release infrared radiation. So this infrared radiation which tries to get out of the atmosphere, what happens? So all this infrared radiation, they are not able to escape into the space. Why? Because the greenhouse gases absorb a major fraction of the infrared radiation. Thus, the infrared radiation absorbed heats the Earth's surface, because infrared radiation is all about heat. So most of the heat, because of this infrared radiation being absorbed within the atmosphere, most of the heat also is contained in the atmosphere. So this cycle repeats until no infrared radiation is left over to emit. So this process will continue. Like every time the infrared radiation comes here, the greenhouse gases will absorb some part of it and re-emit it. Again, this infrared radiation, so when it is re-emitted, again the objects inside the earth will get heated up. They will again emit some infrared. Again, the greenhouse gases will do the same thing, and this process will continue until the infrared radiation is left over to emit. As a result of all of these, the earth's temperature increases. That is, the earth overall gets heated up, and this effect is known as greenhouse effect. Now, which are the important greenhouse gases? Now since the beginning I have been talking about that some gases, they tend to absorb and re-emit the infrared radiation. So what are those greenhouse gases? So the important greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide and methane. So these are the two important greenhouse gases. Now, do you understand that why carbon dioxide should not be present in very high amount in the atmosphere? So on planet Earth, carbon dioxide is only 0.03%, right? So life can exist on Earth because carbon dioxide is present in very small amount. In case carbon dioxide would have been present in large amounts, maybe 40% carbon dioxide, in that case what would have happened? The temperature inside the Earth would have been so high that it would have not been livable. So that is what I had discussed in one of the previous slides, that for planets like Venus and Mars, the atmosphere is made up of mostly carbon dioxide. So 95 to 97% of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, and therefore life doesn't exist on those planets. Now, the next interesting question is, why is this phenomenon called greenhouse effect? So, how is it related to greenhouse? The term greenhouse is basically used for a glass house where plants are grown. Now, especially during winters when there is not sufficient sunlight for plants to grow, this technique is often used where you take a box whose top cover is made up of glass, like as you see here, and inside you put the plants. So what happens is, this glass will allow the sun rays to enter inside, that is, it will allow the light to enter inside, but it doesn't allow it to come outside. So basically it doesn't allow the heat to come outside. So in a way, this glass house traps the heat inside, and that is how it helps the plants to grow, because during winters anyways you do not get enough heat, and therefore the plants, sometimes they do not get sufficient light to grow. So in this glass house, there are provision to control the temperature, light, shade, irrigation, humidity, so that it supports better plant growth. So this type of glass house is termed as greenhouse. Now, when you look at this entire phenomenon of greenhouse effect, you see that is similar to this. So in greenhouse effect also, the solar radiations are allowed to enter inside the earth through the atmosphere, but only when the infrared radiation tries to go out of the atmosphere, that time only it is absorbed and re-emitted. So entry is allowed but exit is not allowed. So because of this similarity, this effect is known as greenhouse effect. Now, this glass house which I am talking about, this glass house can be very small sized. This can also be industrial sized. So its size actually is quite diverse. It can be from small sized to industrial size. In fact, you can feel this greenhouse effect even inside a car. For example, if you close all the windows, doors inside a car and park it in sun. So in a sunny afternoon, if you park your car with all doors and windows closed, what happens? Now, after some time, you keep it there for maybe half an hour to 1 hour. Then when you come back, when you open the car, what happens? How is the temperature inside the car? So the temperature inside the car is extremely high. So it is very hot inside the car. Why? Because the glasses allowed the solar radiation to enter inside the car, but whatever heat entered, so as a result, what happened? When solar radiation entered inside, the seats inside the car, everything became hot. So they emitted infrared radiation, but the infrared radiation were not allowed to escape out of the glass. So as a result, all the heat got blocked inside the car. So the temperature inside the car increased a lot. So this greenhouse effect can also be seen inside a locked car. So therefore, if somebody stays inside a car on a sunny afternoon or a sunny day, and if the car gets locked somehow, and if a person is stuck inside the car for a long time, it can even cause death, because the temperature will increase so much that the person will start suffocating, and this might lead to his death. But as we all know that excess of anything is not good. Now, if the concentration, or if the amount of carbon dioxide starts increasing too much, or if the amount of greenhouse gases start to increase too much, then the greenhouse effect will also increase. So the temperature of the earth will increase too much. So that will again cause too much of warming of the earth, which is what we call as global warming. So over increase in the temperature of the earth's surface due to the action of greenhouse gases. Now again, if the temperature increases too much, that will also become a problem for the survival of life forms. So therefore, we need to make sure that the greenhouse gases are present only in the desired quantities, not more. So if we look at the past records, in the last 100 years, the average temperature of the earth has increased by 0.6 degrees Celsius. So if you look at it, in the last 100 years, the temperature has increased by 0.6 degree Celsius. Now, it might seem a very small increase in 100 years, but if we look at it even more closely, we see that actually this entire increase has taken place only in the last 30 years. So before that, the initial 70 years, there was not much change in the temperature, but only in the last 30 years, this increase of 0.6 in degrees Celsius has happened, which is really alarming. So if the temperature keeps on increasing in this fashion, then the day is not far where existence of life on the earth would also be a question mark. Now, what are the causes of global warming? Why the greenhouse gases are increasing so much? Increased use of fossil fuels, because burning of fossil fuels release a lot of carbon dioxide. So when we are releasing so much of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, what is happening? The amount of greenhouse gases is increasing. So the greenhouse effect is increasing. Deforestation, cutting down so many trees. What's happening? So what do trees do? So trees take up carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So they basically utilize carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. But if there are no trees, what will happen? There is nobody who is utilizing the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So all the carbon dioxide will accumulate in the atmosphere. So again, the same thing will happen. The amount of carbon dioxide will increase. Too much excess of carbon dioxide will be there in the atmosphere, therefore greenhouse effect will increase. Overpopulation. So overpopulation means need for everything increases. So you need more furniture, so for that you are cutting down more forests, you need more energy sources, so you are using more and more fossil fuels, you are burning more fossil fuels. So overpopulation is like a common cause for all of these problems. Now, when you look at the harmful effects of global warming, they are also huge. Now, when the average temperature of the earth increases, then the melting of ice glaciers, mountains or ice sheets is inevitable. And this melting will result in destruction of living organisms or ecosystem of those regions, because even in these ice glaciers or mountains, a huge number of living organisms survive there. So when these regions will melt down, so all those organisms will also get lost. Rise in sea level. Now this can even submerge the coastal areas. Increased precipitation, so which is basically increased rainfall and snowfall. Higher probability of flood. Too much of rainfall will result in floods, and too much of water everywhere due to melting of polar ice caps. So when floods become common, so floods result in destruction of houses, property, lives, and there would be destruction all around with so much of water everywhere. So there is an entire change in ecosystems. Now, when certain regions get completely destructed, then what happens? The entire balance of the ecosystem gets spoiled.
So children, I hope you found these videos useful, and do make sure that you watch all the 8 videos of the video series on Natural Resources Class 9 Science, and I am sure these videos are definitely going to help you. If you have a feedback to share, do let me know in the comment section. I would be more than happy to hear from you. I will meet you all very soon with a new video with a new topic. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.